Have you ever stopped to think about how all the words we use are connected? It's not just random, you know? Beneath the surface of our everyday language, there's this hidden architecture, a kind of secret network that links every single word to others. So, how does this invisible web actually work? Well, let's find out.
So let's play a quick game. Take these three words, a dog, a puppy, and an animal. They're obviously related, right? But how exactly? The answer to this little puzzle actually reveals the entire blueprint for how we and machines understand language itself.
And that answer has a name: lexical semantics. It's the key that unlocks the very structure of meaning. And today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it all fits together.
All right, so let's dive right in with the master blueprint itself. What exactly is this field of study, and what does it really tell us about the language we use every single day? At its core, it's the study of word meanings and, crucially, the relationships between them. Think of it this way. If grammar gives you the rules for building a sentence, lexical semantics is all about the meaning of the bricks you're using. It's the content, the stuff that makes language so powerful.
Okay, so to really get this blueprint, you need a toolkit. And lexical semantics gives us a set of specific relationships that act as the tools we use to build and connect meaning. Let's walk through the most important ones. First up in the toolkit is synonymy. You know this one. Words that mean pretty much the same thing. But what's really fascinating here is that true, perfect one-to-one synonyms, they're incredibly rare. There's almost always some subtle little difference in feeling or formality.
For instance, big and large. Yeah, you can pretty much swap those out anytime. But what about begin and commence? They mean the same thing, but you'd probably only use commence in a really formal setting, right? That tiny distinction is exactly what lexical semantics gets into.
All right, next tool, antonymy. Opposites. These are so important because they give us contrast. We understand the idea of hot so much better because we also have the concept of cold. Opposites help us draw the lines and define what something is and what it isn't. But here's the cool part. Not all opposites are the same. You've got gradable antonyms, which live on a scale like hot and cold. Then you have complementary ones, where it's a strict either-or. You're either alive or you're dead. There's no in-between. And finally, you have relational antonyms, which are like two sides of the same coin, like a teacher and a student. Okay, moving on. This next tool, hyponymy, is huge. It's all about how our brains naturally create categories for everything. It's a simple type of relationship that organizes our world into these neat little hierarchies.
It's really simple when you see it in action. Animal is the big general term. That's called the hypernym. A dog is a specific type of animal, which makes it the hyponym. This simple structure is just fundamental to how we organize all knowledge.
So we categorize things, right? But we also understand them by their components. And that brings us to our next tool, Meronymy, which is all about the part of relationship. It's how we see an object as a collection of its parts.
So a car is the whole thing, the holonym. A wheel is just one part of the car, making it the meronym. This lets us understand that a car isn't just one block, but this complex system of interconnected parts like wheels, engines, and doors.
Okay, now for a classic problem that trips up humans and AI all the time: ambiguity. You've got two main kinds. There's polysemy, where one word has multiple but related meanings. Think of the word head, the head on your shoulders, the head of a company. They're both about being at the top. Then you have homonymy, where one word has totally unrelated meanings, like a baseball bat and the animal, a bat. Getting a computer to tell the difference is a massive, massive challenge.
So we have our blueprint, we have our toolkit. So what? What can we actually build with all this stuff? Well, it turns out these concepts are the very foundation of the digital world we live in every single day.
No, really, think about it. When your search engine understands that looking for large dogs should also show you big dogs, that's synonymy at work. When your voice assistant knows the difference between a riverbank and a financial bank, that's AI navigating ambiguity.
These relationships are what make our tech actually feel smart.
And here's the real magic behind it all. Understanding these connections allows algorithms to make intelligent guesses, or what we call inferences. If an AI knows a sparrow is a type of bird, that's hyponymy. It can infer that a sparrow can probably fly, even if nobody ever wrote that specific sentence.
Now, take this idea to a massive global scale, and you get something called a knowledge graph. You can picture it as this gigantic interconnected web that maps out how concepts, people, and places are all connected. It's basically creating a structured model of the world's information for an AI to use.
But this field isn't standing still. Not at all. The mission to understand and replicate meaning is pushing into some really exciting, almost sci-fi territory. I mean, we're seeing these incredibly powerful AI models that can figure out word relationships just by reading massive amounts of text. Researchers are mapping meaning across different languages and even using these ideas to create models that simulate how our own brains work. It's all about pushing towards AI that can truly reason.
When you zoom all the way out, you realize this isn't just about words anymore. By mapping the intricate network of our language, we are, in a very real way, trying to map the very architecture of human thought itself.
Which leaves us with one last kind of huge question to think about. If an AI can perfectly master this entire blueprint of our language, will it ever truly understand meaning the way we do? Or is real meaning something more than just a network of connections?